Let us remember the great figures of antiquity, the epic heroes, the dreams from legends, and fairy tales in the soul of our blood, ourselves inside us, awakening once more through mythical powers. Every misuse creates catastrophes in our soul of cosmic dimensions. The science of the inner life is not called psychology, but myth. It concerns the battles between ice and fire, between the fire of the blood in our hearts against the ice of cold reason. The world ice theory speaks to those humans to whom the Christian guilt idea, as well as the idea of pure expediency, is alien. This breed of man opposes nature with strength, never avoids it, neither through the false shame of asceticism and humility, nor through solely sensual gratification of the moment. It possesses all the superiority of the Nordic character. It looks with fresh, lively, and courageous eyes into the hard, forbidding experiences of a dramatic nature. Hidden behind these taciturn and unbending features is a secret existence of true humor, a wonderful toughness of healthy life resistance, the true kindness and always faithful comradeship of strong-willed men. They are polar people who feel comfortable under the ancient Nordic law of fate. Bold, not tired, intact, never chatty, resolute and wise, self-assured and audacious characters who are facing the dangers and tests of a sacrifice, upright, in short, dramatic beings whose heart is adventurous and steely. At the same time, they are humans, honored solely by their courage towards themselves and towards their destiny, never expecting any reward, neither here or beyond, but feel themselves as a living part of the universal fate. For a life filled with meaning, death is fulfillment and crowning, passing into a new birth, new sense, new shape, new life. Death soothing all. It is a rebirth and eternal life. It is the big turning point on which life with rebirth changes its aspect. The eye returns home. Loneliness fills a home and mother's womb. Those who live with the dead know that their lives are only a link in the chains of generations, which runs from their ancestors to the grandchildren, who are tied to their descent and responsible by their attitudes and way of life to the future, the presence of their grandchildren, always facing the judgment of their ancestors, and the ancestors forever facing the fame and judgment of their grandchildren. Therefore, the bold image of the world ice theory is not dictated towards the well-fed bourgeois who doesn't want to know about ancestry and flees before death and destiny. It is addressing itself to the tragic human being who fulfills the victory in his defeat by challenging his fate and surrendering to it up to self-sacrifice. It is directed towards the heroic man who simply must because he cannot do anything else and walks unperturbed along his appointed path to crown and seek his life with his death. That is the world ice theory, the loftiest and most magnificent image of the world since Copernicus and Kepler. As it was created again by a German, it should fill every German with gratitude and a joyful pride. They are describing us as enemies of the spirit. Yes, that's what we are, but in a much deeper sense than the one dreamt up by those stupidly proud bourgeoisie of science. It is the path of the hidden possibilities of man against God and nature. We shall change the world, and if we are human, the others cannot be called by that name. Animals would not be enough. Subhumans and loathsome vermin would still be a flattery for that brood of snakes which we shall crush underfoot. I am afraid because I have seen the new man. I shall be elected to become the greatest, or I shall perish, cursed by all, and damned in all eternity. We shall create the new man. Everything will depend, if we succeed, in removing the inequality, the century-old class differences, beyond good and evil, in a paradise, as the ancients said, initiated into the rites of the Ecclesia Militans, the Black Order, the mass and death head communities, columns which have to walk over corpses, to reach the tragedies of greatness. Godlike men, their families extinguished and solely tied to the hard, unforgiving laws of our cult. There will be a master race, angry prophets full of sacred madness, full of providence in the spirit of the struggle between world flames and world ice. To secure survival in the cosmos, one must be brave, full of self-discipline, in self-fulfillment, with one soul, Nordic, moral, as an echo of past worlds and a golden future. Do you want to rule the world? Not through raw material, business with moral and the harlot of the intellect, but through the reawakening of the magic of the post-Christian soul out of the forces of the blood. Everybody can join us who is rightly born under the Nordic sun, a master of the world in our system and fatherland, for which he works, fights, or dies with everything he does, ennobled by our idea, his greatest chance since the creation of the world. Are we going to win? Cursed are the excluded ones, who must envy us to the end of their days. Let's be on our guard. And then the end. If I die for you. A piece of your great love will die with me. I'm everything you wanted, as you have seen it in me, projected into me. And that is the scandal, the inextricability which my enemies never understand. At least, not yet. You will hate me, like you hate yourself, your children and your children's children, all those sacrifice qualities and ideals, the intoxication to want everything and get everything just once. You will hate yourself, as you hate me, and after you are dead, your inheritors will hate everything which is German, and that with a bad conscience. Everything will die with me. The lost faith of the masses, which I mobilized in our old customs and virtues, and in the showy life of a great hero who lived before you. I shall be cursed because of my mistakes and cruelties, and ridiculed forever. But the money will reassure you, or will it not? Really? And if not, is it the fear of this new guilt which terrorizes its children and their children? Our child terrorists, our future?